Well, I have two new polls that I'm releasing. One that was taken just before the Orlando shooting and one right after the Orlando shooting. And just to give a little context, the one I took just 2 weeks before the shooting was a follow-up to a poll that I did in November, in which I asked the American public about attitudes toward many issues related to the Middle East region, including their attitudes toward Islam and Muslims. And we know that has been a hot issue of discussion in our debates. It turns out that instead of the American people holding more unfavorable view of Muslims, they progressively had a more favorable view of Muslims from November through May, through June, even after Orlando. And the same with regard to the Muslim religion. While they still had more negative view of the Muslim religion per se, their views improved significantly from November to June, like 7 percentage points. Orlando shootings didn't have the kind of impact that people might have expected in terms of people souring on Islam and Muslims for a couple of reasons. One reason is that they actually don't interpret the Orlando shooting to be principally motivated by Islamist ideology. The public has a far more nuanced view of the shooting. It's still that slightly more Americans have an unfavorable view of Islam as a religion than favorable one. That suggests to me that some candidates will try to exploit that space, but if there is any indication from the poll results that we now have, that may not work. What we have seen is that when you ask Americans, do you know any Muslims? I know some, which is closer to your view. I know some Muslims well, I know some Muslims but not well, and I don't know any Muslims. Those people who don't know any Muslims have far more negative views of both the Muslim people and the Muslim religion. And those people who know they know some Muslims well have a much better view. So that's part of the issue, not the only factor. There are a lot of other factors, but it's interesting to see that there is that direct correlation between just interacting with people versus dealing with something abstract.